Welcome to Watch What Crappens. To get our videos as soon as they're released instead of waiting for a week, head over to our Patreon. That's also where you'll find our bonus episodes and our Discord community. We love you guys. Well, hello and welcome to Watch What Crappens. I'm Ronnie. That's Ben. Hello, Ben.
Hello there. How's it going?
Good. Everybody, welcome. It is the Valley Persian Style Day, and we've got 2 weeks from today until the Golden Crappies on February 27th at the Fonda Theater in Hollywood. Get your tickets at watchwhatcrappens.com. That's also where you will find links to live streaming tickets through Kiswi. Get them over there. Also, the next round of voting, which is the round. It's the round for the actual awards. You guys did first round voting. That went really well. And now you're going to vote on the nominations for the Crappies. So that starts Monday. And you can find links to that on our social, Instagram, or on our website. Also, if you want video recaps, or you want ad-free listening, or you want bonus episodes about traders, or you want our free newsletter, go sign up at Patreon, patreon.com/watchwhatcrappens. And now, today, the Twaitles. I mean, the Valley. Well, it could be the traders. They all backstab each other on this show all the time, but it's the Valley Persian style.
Traders Persian style. Well, we left off.
Persian traders believe in feeding each other.
Bitches be like, you're not faithful. So we were at this restaurant where Reza Jax has arranged/ambushed Sky and Tanine, so that way they can have some sort of resolution. And Tanine's like, wait, what is happening? I'm like really confused. He's like, oh, it's exactly what it looks like it's happening. It's happening. But I think for the sake of the friendship, let's just like be in a setting where it's calm and we can have a conversation, which I think is so adorable when people say that to reality stars in restaurants, as if like restaurants have not been the arenas for so many flip outs and flip tables.
God, especially for Sky today. Jeez. She does not give a shit if she's in a restaurant, that's for sure. And Tanine's like, this is unpleasant. I did not expect to be set up. Like, your ego won't even allow you to call me, so now I have to go to lunch and pretend to eat around you. And Reza's like, okay, well, I'm just going to be over there, but I am going to do something tricky and take your purses because women can't live without purses. Am I right?
It's kind of a good move, to be honest, because people love storming out. So he's like, you take their purses away because they can't leave. Genius. So now the woman, he leaves, which I think is crazy because I thought they were going to have some sort of like referee. But
yeah, you should sit there and help them work it out. What the heck?
Yeah, work it out, man. So Tanine's like, well, I guess the floor is yours. I mean, you're the one who experienced a lot of things. She goes, and you were there. You saw what happened. That night was too much and heavy, and I want you to have my back, and you didn't.
Okay. Yes, and this is where I was very pissed off and disappointed, especially your husband. He started to attack. She's like, first and foremost, Reza started the conversation, not Greg. And she's like, no, it was Greg. No, it was Reza. And then we see the night at dinner. Of course it was Reza. It's always Reza. This is not a mystery to be solved on this show. If shit has been started, it was Reza. Okay. And so we see a clip where Reza's like, oh, we're going to look at $1 million house so you can ease up on the shopping, okay, lady? It's like you grew up with a silver spoon in your mouth and a trust fund or something. You're a waiter from Shabashuki's.
Bitches be like, I'm rich and I'm better than everyone else. So then Tanine's like, you were ambushed and I feel so bad for that. She's like, oh, you do? You feel bad for me? You do? Really? This is my sarcastic voice. Tanine's like, yeah.
Sky is relentless and I love it. It's like, oh,
she is.
Oh, you feel bad?
Sky is vicious. So Tanine's like, well, it's just the way you're approaching it as offending people. It feels like you're above and they're beneath you. She goes, oh, but they are. They are beneath me. Everybody is pretending that they want to be very classy and things, but nobody's acting classy, acting like a hyena, sitting, waiting for a moment to jump on. It's so beneath me. I can't go that low. Okay, I go to Erewhon. I do not go to Ralph's. As much as I want to go look down on people, but listen, sometimes you have no choice. Sometimes you have to look down on someone.
And Tony's like, okay, well, Reza said the serum thing. She goes, oh, that you went behind my back and you talked to Reza about the serum thing. Mm-hmm, that's what you did. She goes, okay, and I apologize because I would have felt bad if Reza brought that up to me, okay? But then you come back to me with giving me discounts. Like, look at the discounts I gave you. I mean, that's the first thing that came to your mind. And she goes, well, yes, because Reza said exactly after my wife spent thousands of dollars. Your husband said my wife spends thousands of dollars on your supporting your business. If your wife wanted to have my pieces, it wasn't just because of supporting my business. She wants to have a piece, and she did come to me, and I gave her a bargain on my pieces. Yeah, well, we saw the prices of your pieces, and they are way overpriced. So. Yeah. You giving a bargain is silly. It's like one of those Facebook ads. It's like, get a band for your Apple Watch. Normally $9,000. Today, only $100. I'm doing you a favor, guys.
You want me to believe that Sky has a trunk show and Tanine doesn't buy a piece from the trunk show and Sky is like totally going to be fine with it? No, of course Tanine's going to buy something. Not only because she's a good friend, but she also knows that you're going to have a meltdown if she doesn't buy a stupid trinket. So yeah. Tanine's like, yes, I do support my friend's business, correct. And it's thousands of dollars. That's correct. Yeah, but you never pay full price or even the price that anyone else ever paid. It's like, okay, so yes, thank you for giving me a discount for when I'm spending thousands of dollars on your stuff, because otherwise you'd probably have a meltdown, but I'm still spending thousands of dollars on your stuff.
Yeah. And Tanine's like, yeah, but I am still supporting you, right? And Sky's like, well, I'm not a starving student. I need this money so bad that I'm dying. Oh, really? Well, you are desperately trying to move out of a house and you can't afford to. So you kind of are.
You had a meltdown because there was no proper bartender for your trunk show. So I guess it seems like you are pretty desperate to have like the perfect event to sell your jewelry.
Need the money. You need the money. Yeah.
You need the money.
And she's like, well, I just want to support you. And she goes, thank you. She goes, okay, but that's, we're friends and that's what I do for my friends. She goes, let me tell you something. Everything started with that night. She's like, not for me. It started with the serum. She goes, okay, for me, good enough. Okay, you want to say skincare? Fine. I'm like, you know what? In your eyes, I fucked up. Okay, I get it. That was not my intention, but I fucked up. From the bottom of my heart, I'm very sorry that I care about my child dog's moisturizing. But, I care about my dog.
Well, thank you. And we're missing the Persian culture here where it's like thoughtful and tarot, which means humility. And it's beautiful and it's hospitality and it's family. It's very sad to me. And eventually it had to be said that if it did mean anything to you at any time, that you have to show that that's enough for you to want to hear the other side. So I guess she's trying to say, like, I accept your apology, but like, why was this so hard, right? Is that what she's trying to say here? Like, where's the humility? Where's the, oh no, my friend is upset in all this?
Yeah, she's saying if we're really family and close friends, then you can't just cut me off every time we have a fight. And this guy's like, well, I'm in a very tough spot with every single person here. And she goes, yeah, I'm sure you are. She goes, and I don't even know how. I don't even know how to talk to people like right now. Well, not by being an asshole, You're going to have to at some point be like, okay, I didn't mean to diss the Valley. I was being snotty. Sorry, everybody. I'll chill. That's it.
Nothing can really justify what she did. She didn't stand up. She didn't speak up. She didn't stop Greg. It's not acceptable to me. This conversation didn't change my mind at all, but I have no idea where we're going from here. I'm like, but you were being obnoxious to Tanine, so why would Tanine tell her husband to stop defending you? I mean, I know Greg said the thing about like, hey, stop being a dick about the Valley. That's where I'm from. But
I think Greg was being really gross actually at that dinner, and so was Reza, and they were screaming at a woman, and Greg being like, oh yeah, well, you don't got a choice, honey. Good luck. You got to stay in your house because you can't afford anything else, honey. I mean, I think he was an asshole, and I think Tanine did start that shit by going to Reza and saying, she did this with my thing, and then Reza brought it up in public and started a fight and all of this. And so I would be pissed if I was Sky too. I think that Tanine wasn't being a good friend to her, and I think her husband was being a shithead, and she should have been like, stop yelling at my friend, dude. It's weird. So I think Sky has a point. It's just that Sky topped it by being ruder than everybody else and basically being like, I don't care. The Valley's gross and you're all gross and I don't care. And then she turned it to the like, oh, and I've given you discount on my stuff. Like she gets so nasty instead of just having the conversation. She could have walked away looking like she was in the right in that one, but she just didn't play it well. Bless her heart.
Yeah.
Because I like her. She's my favorite one on the show, but
she's still my favorite as well.
She's wrong.
They basically leave this conversation feeling like nothing's really changed. Nothing's really moved. Sky isn't getting what she wanted out of Tanine. Tanine's not getting what she wanted out of Sky. Their friendship is going to move to a more surfacey space. So now we go to MJ.
They basically
and
both say, still hate the bitch. All right, next scene.
Can I have my bag back? So we go to MJ and Tommy's house, and Tommy's like, hey, Sham, stop leaving trash around, okay? God, where are you getting all these popsicle sticks from? God! So then Shams leaves, and Mercedes and Tommy are sitting around. He's like, what's going on? She's like, well, right now, it's been a while since I've sold a house, and this is a very scary market for real estate agent. I feel like is MJ trying to like leave clues to a secret treasure hunt? Like she's like, listen to the words that I slow down on. She talks like this. It's like she's waiting for a fax to come through and she's reading it off. She's like, yeah, it's been like a long time since I sold a house. And this is a very scary. Could you change the ink? Can somebody change the ink? All of the most productive real estate agents have not sold that much in a long time. And our nest egg, if I don't produce, I get worried a lot. She basically says that Tommy's built a podcast network and it's just starting off because they do that show, or they did that show. I don't know if they still do it, Till the Dirt. And in the meantime, that's Till the Dirt. A podcast company and the ground floor means Tommy is doing nothing but spending your money and sitting around his house all day in fucking sweats. I'm sorry, you can make it sound as good as you want to, but you don't start a podcast now. If he doesn't have like investors giving him money to sit around and it's just coming from you, he needs to get off his ass and do that in his spare time. He needs to get a job and do that in his spare time. Spoken from somebody who started a podcast, not a podcast network, but a podcast, and didn't get to not have another job for years. You don't just say like, I'm not going to do anything because I have a podcast now. That's bullshit, sir. Get off your fucking lazy ass and get to work. He's definitely not giving the energy of someone who is scrambling to put together a podcast network. Every time we see him, he's just sitting on a sofa or like, you know, going out to lunch with Vita or something like that. Like we don't see this guy like hustling and bustling. I know it's just what Bravo shows. There could be more going on. Okay, it could be an iceberg. Buying a neon sign from Alibaba does not make a podcast network. Get a job. Yeah. So pressure's on Mercedes to keep everything, you know, afloat. So she's like, I have to market myself or else I'm going to be a one-house Wanda, but I need to be a multi-house Merce. Oh, God. You don't want to be a one-house Wanda. That's for sure. Be a multi-house Merce. So she's like, look, I'm having a Twilight open house. I'm inviting the agency agents, all the gang, and everybody's like, where's Tommy? You know, you need to come. And he's like, whoa, I'm not doing this. Stop it right now. I'm not going. She's like, doing what? He's like, I don't like them, and that's it. You understand? And he starts getting really mad because I'm sure he's told her a million times, if you want to do this show, do it, but I'm not doing it. There's no way you're getting me in this situation again. Yeah. Even though the podcast network seems to be based off of their podcasts, which has traction because MJ was on The Traitors and is on Bravo. So it's a tricky thing. Like it's, you know, I think my heart really just sort of rests with like Tommy did go through hell because of Reza. And there's just no reasonable way to expect him to drop everything to just do this. But then Tommy also went through hell. Tommy also went through hell because of Tommy. Tommy's decisions are Reza. You know, Reza has been poking people for years on this channel. He's been ruining lives, doing whatever he can to be a messy little evil queen. He's been doing it for years, but not everybody assaults him and goes to their house and tries to kill them and destructs property. Tommy did that to himself. That's the thing. And it's like not only that. So it's like I understand that Tommy went to jail and like his life was massively affected by this, but it was Tommy's choice to go over there. And on top of that, it's like, I can't help but also feel like I really do understand where MJ is coming from. Like it sucks. Like my husband won't come with me to anything. He won't even come to the things that like don't have Reza there. And like, this is like, she's like the primary breadwinner is basically what she's saying. And if the podcast network is basically built off of her fame and her success. She needs him to help her be successful, to help the podcast be something, right? So like,
Well,
I
yeah, and it's
understand
beyond
that too.
even just the podcast. I think she's trying to say, like, listen, I'm already the one. People are listening to the podcast for me. I'm out with a real job as well as doing that. Plus, I'm doing this TV show, which is our biggest job of all, because we're finally back on TV. This is a huge job for me, and you won't even do that. Like, I even got you that job, and you won't show up
Yeah.
to film. Like, if you have to fight with people and you have to do whatever, get off your ass. It's a job. Like,
Like,
be
this is,
entertaining. Fight with Reza. Like, what do I have to
or
do?
just don't talk to him. Don't engage with him. Like, I can't, like, I need to do this. This is like our family. I need this paycheck. And like, I know you want me to make a concession for you, but you need to make a concession for me. And it's hard because their concessions are against each other. But I think that for me, like, I don't know if it, I think I would just get over my shit. And I think the point that you make is a really strong one, is that like, this didn't happen in a vacuum. Tommy went over and he was the one who threw those pots around. It seemed overkill what Reza was, put him through. But honestly, Tommy did it first.
Well, yeah, Reza's an asshole. Like, I'm not. Reza's a piece of shit, but he's always been a piece of shit. That's who Reza is on this show. He's like the villain of the show. He's like the hero and the villain of the show. So that's what he does. Tommy is the one. It's like, I had a friend who got a DUI, and she went to a party, and the girl she went to a party for had invited this girl's ex, and she didn't know. And so she got shit-faced at this, like, really, really drunk at this party. And then this guy shows up, so she left the party and drove all the way from Santa Monica back to Silver Lake and got a DUI. And blames the friend for her getting a DUI because a friend shocked her. And I'm like, no, you got in the car fall down drunk. Like, no one did that. Well, but she didn't tell me this. I said, but you still got so drunk. Like, you cannot blame somebody else for your DUI. And I feel like that's Tommy. It's like, do you know he ruined my life? I had depression. Yeah, because you have and he's like, I went to anger management. And he's screaming. I'm like, you're screaming at your wife on camera. How did that anger management work out for you? Like,
how is that working? How is this therapy working where you like can't even, like, you're in control of your own responses and reactions. So knowing that you have that power, like, just be there for your wife. Like, I think in a perfect world, they wouldn't have to be in this situation, but like, this is their lot in life, which is that like, MJ's career as a reality star, and you're banking your entire podcast network off of her fame. You built it off of her fame, essentially.
If Tommy had an actual job and he was like, listen, I know that you want to be back on TV. I'm never going to do it, but I support you wanting to do it as long as you keep me out of it. And he actually had a job and was contributing. I would think of this differently. I would be like, that's unfair to put him in this situation. He said he's uncomfortable. We've seen a lot of husbands on these shows not film. They're like, I'm not going to do it, And that's always okay. The reason for me that it's not okay with Tommy is that he's not doing anything. He's not contributing. And saying you have a podcast network is bullshit, and you're not contributing. And this is now her third job. If you're going to include podcasts as a job, she's working 3 and you're doing nothing. So unless you do something, you don't have a say here. That's what I say.
Right. Now, I will say this. There's something else I'd like to add, which is that there is also a space where MJ could just say to her friends, you guys, stop fucking asking me if Tommy's going to come. You guys know what the situation is. You're putting me in a hard spot because now you're putting pressure on me to have to ask him. And like, this makes him really unhappy, and it's hard on our marriage. And like, yes, I would love it if he could come, but he can't. And because part of that is because of what you did, Reza. And like, that's just the way it is. So just stop fucking asking me,
That's true.
Like,
but I think that's true, but I think that also she probably doesn't want Tommy at these parties. She seems pretty over Tommy, and Tommy's so gross. I mean, he's always been gross, but Tommy's like, yeah, I just fought it. I just burped. I just took a huge shit at our anniversary. Like, he thinks he's so hilarious. It's gross. It's disgusting. And I'm sure she does not care if Tommy is not out with her while she's trying to like be a classy person to be an agency, I'm sure she doesn't mind that he's not there, but she wants him there to make entertainment. It's like, well, listen, we have the opportunity.
I think she wants him there as a partner. I think that like, when you go into these situations and you never know, whenever you go into shoot and like, is Reza going, like, you never know if that's the day you walk into the party and Reza's going to ambush you. and you just want to have backup, and you're with everyone else who is a couple, and then you can't have your person there. That's hard. And especially, honestly, at a work event, it's really nice to have someone. It's nice to have your person there. So that way, when things are like, if it's like boring or annoying or someone says, you can just always like, it's the drive home and you can be like, can you believe what so-and-so said or whatever? I think that's like the value of having your person. So I understand why she wants him there. Is he probably the best look at a fancy open house? Probably not. But at the same time though, like, in an ideal world, you don't put your
Buffett on his armpits. That's really going to sell this house.
I know. In an ideal world, though, if your spouse is massively uncomfortable being around someone in your world, like you got to take your spouse's side. And this is a really, really complicated one, which is I think actually is something that makes this show compelling, because there really is no easy answer to this, because I go back and forth. Like, you want to support your spouse and you want to say, why should I put my spouse in a situation where they're so uncomfortable? But then you also want to say, but shouldn't he also feel the same way, that she's going and having to shoot this show to support this family, and she has to go at it alone over and over and over again because I can't get over my own shit, And also, quite frankly, holding on to this anger and this resentment is going to eat him alive. It will. It's going to destroy him. I don't know. I'm all over the map on this one.
Yeah. Well, it's a mess.
It's life, actually. It's very like this is actually the messiness of life. I hate to be trite about it, but it's true.
Yeah, but I mean, I think it just boils down to he didn't want to do it, but he's not doing anything else. And part of the reason he was in trouble is him. I mean, the whole reason he was in trouble is him. He wouldn't have gone to jail if he hadn't done what he did. He wouldn't have gone to jail for what Reza did. You know what I mean? Reza wouldn't have gone to jail for what he did. Tommy went to jail for what Tommy did. So he's got to take some personal responsibility. So he's like, some things are irreparable and you can forgive, but you can't be forgetful because that's going to come back on you if you're not careful. Well, yeah, it is. But that's what being on TV is. It's like, so he's like, he's not worth my time. I do not care about him. She goes, okay, well, let's just, it doesn't have to be Reza. I have a lot of friends, and you don't have a negative history with them yet. Lots of people are still waiting to screw us over. Come on, man. Yeah. And he's like, I don't want to hear about it.
I don't want to hear any more about Natasha, Boris, or fucking Heckle and Jekyll and Clyde. I don't give a fuck unless it's Mr. Matt. I will hang out with Mr. Matt. But do you understand? Do you understand what makes me happy? I want to do what makes me happy, which is sticking my hand in my armpit and farting out the national anthem in front of champs.
Yeah, which is staying home, doing nothing. And she's like, well, I'm the stable one, and I've come through for us, and you've not come through for me. And he's like, oh, well, you've really lucked out, man. I'm a shitty husband.
Well, someone said it.
I mean, yeah, like no one's going to argue with you. And she's like, yeah, I'm not supported. And I feel like a Stockholm syndrome wife. Like, what the fuck? She's like, I'm frozen, Elsa, not doing anything and just going like, I guess I'm okay with that, but I'm not. And she's like, you just threw your hands up in the air. And he's like, it's never going to be what you want it to be. Which is basically, and that's his attitude, like earlier when he's like, then just divorce me then. If you're not happy, I'm not going to make any changes. You fucking divorce me then. It's like, well, be careful what you ask for, buddy.
Wow. She won't just be a one-house Wanda. She'll be a one-house Wanda divorcee. So now we go to Gigi's car, and she's driving with Elijah, and he's like just talking on his walkie-talkie, like pretending like he's talking to the police. And he's like, so if bad guys break into the house and steal all the money that we have, what happens? He's like, do you think a bad guy is going to break into our house with the dogs that we have? Don't the bad guys know I love knives and I'm very violent?
I love that this kid is already practicing talking on walkie-talkies to the police and getting them to his house, because you're going to need that skill, kid. He's like, wow, mommy, isn't it scary? Bad people could come into your house. The bad person is already in your house. It's her. She's driving you to school right now, sir.
So then we go over to Reza, who is meeting with a jeweler. And basically he's interested in having his dad's ashes turned into or put into or something with a pendant. And so he talks about his dad.
They take the carbon from dead people and they turn them into diamonds. Now, I'm sorry, but I'm not told what part of this where the carbon came from. It could have come from the face. Very pretty. It could have come from their asshole. I don't want like my dead Mima's asshole diamond. I don't want that. Who came up with this idea? I hate it.
Yeah. So Reza talks about his dad. It's a very nice moment. And he's, of course, very emotional about his dad passing and everything. And MJ comes and joins, and they're looking at the jewelry. And MJ's like, can I ask how much? And this woman goes, it's around $28,000. And MJ just bursts out laughing right in this woman's face. She cannot stop laughing.
No.
She's like, $28,000.
And Reza's crying, and he goes, that's what I said. I was like, what? I could bring it back for 28 grand. And the lady's just looking at him like, fuck you guys. What the hell?
She's like, this is I'm giving you the Sky discount. And so they have like a Reza and MJ sort of bonding moment where Reza's like, the only person I could have had with me today is MJ because she knew my dad and we've been friends for so long. So we see a flashback of spreading the ashes and everything back in 2018 and all that stuff. So this woman leaves. She's like, fuck these guys. I'm going back to milking thousands of dollars out of Bronwyn Newport. So she leaves. And so Reza and MJ are going to have a drink. And he's like, thank you for coming. I needed you here to do all that. Like, not to get like off death and ashes and stuff like that. She's like, yeah, we can get off that. Can we talk about my Twilight Open? He's like, babe, where's the open house going to be at? Hopefully not in some home that's going to cause a massive rift between our friend group.
It's going to be in Layla's house, which is Gigi's villain sister. God. And so Gigi hates her sister Layla. We've seen it over the years, and it's always really fun. It's really fun.
Exhausting. I'm sorry. So for people who didn't watch Shaw's or are just sort of coming into this world now, this has been an ongoing thing that Layla and Gigi don't like each other. And Gigi's always so mad at Layla, and I still don't fully understand why after all these years. She's like, I can't stand my sister. She's just the worst person in the entire world. I'm like, I still don't really know why. She just hates Layla.
Yeah, she hates her. She's always hated her because Layla's like the good one and Gigi's the one who never does anything. And Layla's like, why does Gigi get away with doing nothing in life and you still give her all this money and all this? Mind your own business, you bitch. So MJ knows that Golness is going to be pissed, but that's like her only house and she has to have a Twilight Open because Mauricio told her to. So that's it. She's doing it at Layla's. And Reza's like, wait a minute, let me ask you this. Are you going to talk to Golnessa? Because you need to tell her, like, listen, like, I be having, like, a bitch's sister's house on the market. Like, I just want to give you, like, a heads up. Because, I love where the three of us are at right now. Okay, don't mess it up.
Yes, I really love how we're all getting along. So, like, maybe I'll tell Gigi that you're going to sell her sister's house on TV and Mauricio's going to be there and Gigi will be so mad. God, I love that we're all friends.
I love for us being in the place where we're all together so I can break us up apart again. And so MJ's like, okay, I'll tell her. Dun, dun, dun.
So now, speaking of Discord, we go to a restaurant in Beverly Hills, because of course Sky is never going to shoot a restaurant scene in the Valley if she doesn't have to. And Sky and Bombshell, they're going to dinner. And he's like, so how are you doing? And she's like, well, today I was supposed to meet with Reza Jax. And then literally a second later, I saw Tanine walk in. Oh, she walked in? Yeah. Like, so she just like really tried hard to convince me that Reza started the conversation. And he's like, no, Reza may have. But of course, I don't remember anything,
He gets to Mauricio. He gets to Mauricio. Uh-oh, a woman's feeling something. And he's like, oh, he just gets a confused face. He's like, I don't remember.
I think I'm ready to leave.
By the way, question, are women on this show allowed to order? Because they never do, I don't think. Like the first scene, Reza ordered for them. And then this scene, he's ordering for them. And then Reza goes to lunch with somebody else later and he orders everything. Like, is that just a thing? Better not
I think
order
that maybe
for me.
they know that if Sky orders, I think in this case, I think Bombshell knows if Sky orders, it'll be just like a plate of scallions and that's it. Like,
they'll be like, ma'am, can I take your order? Air one. Just please, air one.
One half pint of Bulgar, please. Thank you. It's enough for both of us.
Yeah, so they're talking about the ambush, and she's like, "Yeah." So she says that Reza started it. He's like, "I don't remember." And she's, "Let me tell you something. As much as I'm pissed off at Greg, I'm pissed off at you the most. You the most." I was like, "Oh God, he's never gonna hear the end of this."
And she's like, "I'm still very mad at Bombshot because he didn't defend me in Palm Springs." And they're like, "How long are you gonna be mad at him?" She starts to laugh. She goes, "Probably for the rest of my life, I'm going to be mad at him." She's like, "I will." She's like happy. She's like, "Oh my God, I have a new grudge for the rest of my life. This is so fun."
Yeah. And he's like, "Well, I should have done the right thing. I didn't do the right thing. And for this, I'm sorry. And I'm the first one to admit it. With the boys, I said, look, you disrespected my wife." And we see him telling them at that party. And he's like, "You're talking to my wife. You're talking to my family and me." And he says, "I told him that she never offended anybody." She goes, "Oh, did you say that? This is a new part I didn't hear before, huh? You said that?" And he goes, "Yes." She goes, "Oh, so you said this, huh?" He goes, "I already told you." She's like, "I'm not going to let it go. I don't believe you. I don't believe you."
So then he gets
basically,
annoyed.
she does not believe him.
And he goes, "Well, what do you want me to say? I made a fucking mistake over here. What the fuck do you want from me?" And she's like, and I was like, "Oh, Bombshot. You've known your wife longer than I have, and even I can tell you that was a mistake." Because now she's like, the look that she gives him, I was like, "Get him, Sky, get him." So she was like, "I was fighting with everybody that night, and then you sat right next to me and you looked at me. Don't fucking talk to me like that ever in your life. Ever. Ever. You owe me a lot." I was like, "Oh," she just, the withering look that she gives Bombshot. Ooh,
she gets like straight up hatred on her face all the time. Like often, and he's like, "Okay, well, the answers that you want, I've given you already." And she's like, "I don't want to attack you." And he says, "You are attacking me." And she's like, "No, because I would never turn my back like you." And he goes, "Well, you've never had my," and now they're speaking in Farsi at each other and kind of yelling at each other in this restaurant. And he's like, "You never had my back from day one. When have you had my back?" And she just stops and tries to think of something and then can't think of anything, because that's true too.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure that she wants him to stick up for her, but whenever it comes to him, she's like, "He is an idiot. You're correct. You're correct."
She should have just said, what could I possibly have your back on? Because you don't do anything in the first place. You have to do something for me to have your back on it. So he's like, "I've been through a lot of difficulties and pretty much on my own." And she's always been self-centered. But then again, she's my wife. I've accepted her the way she is, a self-centered brat. And I have supported her right or wrong. I'm always going to have her back. I'm like, wow, this will really age well in your couples therapy that you're sure to be going into soon. God, can you imagine? Could you imagine calling your wife on TV self-centered?
She is,
like
though. She is, though.
But you don't,
I mean, that's the thing.
Your kids are going to see this.
They're going to see her calling him a piece of shit every day too. So, welcome to your.
But like, she's
marriage.
saying it to his face. At least they're having an argument. But he's just alone in a confessional, being like, "Yeah, she's self-centered, but I accept it." So she's like, "You know what? I don't even think I should have this conversation with you ever. Fuck that night, seriously." So I guess that's where they leave it, which is that they hate each other still.
Yeah.
Divorce is coming.
Now we go to Natasha and Amir's house, and I'm sorry, they bore me. I don't care. I mean, I know that he's been through a lot and blah blah blah, and they've got a storyline that everyone cries about and stuff. I find them extremely boring. I'm bored.
Well,
although I did like that they gave us a reason to not like Amir today, because I needed one.
I don't even remember what the reason was not to like him, but the vasectomy
we'll get
stuff.
to it later. It's not that deep,
but the premise of the scene, that's all that matters, is that Amir wants everyone to come together, and why not do it amongst the innocence of kids and relax? I'm like, oh, fuck off.
Surely everybody will behave around the kids. Are you kidding me?
Oh my God. I was like, this is like my nightmare. You're going to like force me to go to a kiddie party with bouncy castle to like mend wounds? No, get out of here.
And now we go to the Woods Weed Cafe, where Gigi, Reza, and MJ are going to go. So Gigi can smoke some weed because she's a rebel.
I smoke weed, guys. That's my personality. I smoke ganja. Aren't I crazy? The only way to make me less violent and playing with knives is to smoke grass.
And she even lights her joint like she's in high school. She's like, yeah, me, I'm smoking marijuana.
Yeah. Don't give me that look. You want to fight? Meet me behind the supermarket at 3 p.m. Don't be late. I'm like,
Okay, guys, I saw this house today. Check it out. So she pulls out a listing, and MJ's like, what? You're going to buy this house? It's so expensive. Well, they listed it for sale, but then he's like, you know what? We're also going to be listing it for lease as well. And I said, how much? And he said, $14,500. $14,500. That is some white people bullshit. That is crazy.
It's a lot of money, but I thunk about it all day. Yeah, I thunk real hard. And I'm going to ask Dennis for the money, guys. And they're looking, and Reza's like, how much money? I'm honestly like, I love Reza losing his mind with Gigi's terrible financial choices. It is so funny seeing the look on his face because he cannot deal. And she's like, well, 3,000 of it will come from him per month because he still owes me alimony. He's like, put the lease on
alimony.
Him,
I'm sure. How are you getting alimony for being married for a week?
You were it was annulled. You don't get alimony from an annulment, right?
No,
and by the way,
I don't think so.
He fucked my friend a week after we got married, so he owes me $3,000 a week for the rest of his life. What are you talking about? Reza's like, so you're working this guy that you threw out of the vacation house, sent his ass packing, and now you're going to hit him up and squeeze him? Hopefully she puts his name on the lease, because what if he doesn't want to give her money after month 1, 2, 3, 4? Then you're stuck paying like $14,000. Bitches be like owing a lot of money, am I right?
But also, where's she getting the other $9,000?
I know, there's that question too.
So MJ's like, okay, well, so anyway, I'm having like a Twilight open house and, at your sister's house. And she's like, oh. She goes, well, I've been selling your sister's home and it hasn't sold. So now we have to, all show up in a loving, supportive way.
I don't think I can make it that day. I'm going to a convention for bad girls. Mm-hmm. And MJ is like, don't say that. She's like, I just did.
No,
like,
I'm going to a punch it convention. It's a convention that I go to where I just need to punch something. I just need to hit it. I'm so mad right now.
You know what it's like when you're raised on the mean streets of your driveway in a nice house and you just have a rough and tumble childhood of having a lot of money around. Man, I'm angry.
The rough and tumble streets of Palos Verdes. So the producers ask her what her relationship with her sister's like, and she's like, non-existent. Mercer's definitely overstepping by throwing this Twilight at my sister's house and inviting me, but I guess she overstepped it a decade ago when she decided to become best friends with my sister, knowing the dynamic between my sister and I. It's just so much overstepping. I need to hit something.
And MJ is being a little bit of a fucker because it's one thing to be like, just so you know, I'm doing this thing, but she's like, so you're not going to come? Like,
you're
that's
not going to be
unreasonable.
supportive.
Like, I don't understand why Gigi hates her sister so much, but I will at least appreciate that she does. And like, that's ridiculous to ask Gigi to come to it. And also, why do you want Gigi there? She's gonna make a scene, and she's also not interesting.
Well, that's the whole point. MJ is trying to make a show. She's like, you've got to be there to fight with my sister, and my husband's got to be here to fight with Reza. What are you people not understanding? We have been given another chance.
Reza's like, if you don't want to come, that's one thing, but you don't need to insult her. And she's like, I'm not insulting anyone. I'm just looking for a nice surface that I can punch because I'm angry. And Reza's like, yeah, but you just said that's my family. Back off. I think you're pushing it, Reza. Dude, we're all in a good place. Okay, by the way, Adam brought you a small little ramekin of tabbouleh. Come on, we're in such a good place.
So MJ is like, there's no loyalty here, okay? So figure it out, or when it's time to show up for you, I will piss on your parade. And Gigi's like, oh, really? Well, is your husband coming, MJ? Why isn't he coming then? And she's like, well, he doesn't feel comfortable. Oh, well, that's a good excuse for him. Well, I don't feel comfortable either. I don't feel
was a fair
comfortable either.
point.
People aren't going to feel comfortable with my dildo up their asses either. But guess what? They're going to buy it, and I'm ruining my own point. Just get on with it.
Gigi actually had a good point there. That was good. She set it up, and she got MJ on that one. And MJ is like, well, okay, well, let's put the Twilight on ice because I'm gonna say, yeah, Maris, we don't want Maris to be a one-house Wanda. Huh? Maris should, by the way, Maris, should I text Tommy and see if we can move past this? Like, why are you laughing at me, Gigi? I'm being sincere. I want to be like, let's help Maris not be a one-house Wanda and be a multi-house Maris by us getting along. What do you guys think?
No, really? You're going to text Tommy right now? That's something I'd like to see. Okay, I'll encourage that. That's funny. So he does, and he texts him, and he's like, hi, Tommy. I'm sorry if this seems like it's coming from left field, but I wanted to say, hey, white boy, I'd love to see you at Nurse's Twilight Open. Like, I understand if bitches be like, that's not an option, but like, I look forward to a time in our future where we could be in a better place. Regards, miss your farts in my face, Reza.
I hope this text doesn't throw you the way you threw the cactus at my wall. Please, let's be friends again.
So he's like, we need to figure this out. Maybe Tommy can process, but I might need some holy water.
So Gigi is like, this is a big deal. Wow, did you send it? OMG. Even me, a bad girl, is stunned into submission with this. So Reza's like, yeah, if Tommy hits me back, I might have a heart attack. So now, Natalie and Amir's house, they put the kids to bed, and they're talking about having another kid. And Amir, Natasha wants him to get a vasectomy. And he's basically like, well, you know, we could do other things. Like, I could wear a condom. And she's like, but we're married. I don't want to have to wear a condom with you. So then he's like, well, why don't you do birth control? Why do I have to go through this? You're the woman. You should be the one who has to do things to your body, not me, a man.
Yeah, this is where I was like, oh, yeah, I don't like you. I knew I didn't like you. So he's like, yeah, just get on birth control. And she's like, yeah, get a vasectomy because that's reversible. And I'm not putting hormones in my body. I eat healthy. I take all these supplements to be super healthy after having all these damn kids for you. And he's like, well, I got to go under surgery and subject my body to trauma. And she's like, oh my God, I had 3 C-sections. You want to talk about your body going into fucking trauma? Come on.
Seriously. Good for her. Good for her for saying that. He's like, well, what if you decide that I'm over you and then I'm stuck with a vasectomized, you know, private part? She's like, so you're going to have kids with other people? He's like, no, I'm just saying in case I want to have kids with other people.
She's like, okay, so you want to keep your options open. Great. Yeah, he's not doing great in this scene for sure.
Yeah, shut up and get it.
And then he's
up.
like, well, I went through a crazy experience in my first marriage because, you know, we couldn't conceive and now I'm able to have kids and it feels wrong to eliminate the ability to do something that was hard to do. Oh, shut up and get your tubes tied. You can get them. You can get them untied later if you need to.
Mm-hmm.
You would.
Yeah, let's close up shop for the night. Okay. So now we go over to Westwood, and Tanine and Reza meet up at a restaurant. And Reza's like, you know, I had a boys' night, and like, I'm sure Greg told you about it, and it was like really difficult. And we see flashbacks to it, and Bombshot doing his whole thing of like, if you disrespect Sky, you're disrespecting my family. If you disrespect my family, you're disrespecting me. So Reza's like, this man had his ass handed to him by his wife. I could tell, you know? And she's like, do you feel like you got off your chest about how you feel? I was like, yeah, well, so honestly, the most important person I want to talk to was you, which is why I actually waited like 3 episodes to talk to you. And I'm like really sorry because I didn't like that I put you in a sticky situation and that was not my intent.
Yeah, right. So we see him just totally outing Tanine for talking badly about Sky and the moisturizer and all of that. And she's like, okay, well, accountability is huge to me, so I really appreciate you apologizing. Wow. I mean, I felt like you just had so many things you were already upset about. And he's like, totally. And she's like, well, look, Sky feels like nobody likes her. She feels ambushed. She feels attacked. And she hates that I didn't stand up for her. He's like, stand up for her. She's nuts.
Well, whatever her insecurity is or whatever it is, she's in this like defensive mode and she wants to protect it so badly. What is she protecting? Some stupid jewelry? She's like, well, I'll tell you a different version of the story. She did move to the States by herself with no family, and that's why we accept them as our own family, because we want them to feel like they have that. But you would think that that would humble you, and somehow it didn't. That's the part that I'm talking about. Bitches be like, not humble, okay? She's acting like a multi-house mayoress, but she's a one-woman Wanda. One house Wanda. Whatever the Wanda thing is, she's like all the Wandas. She's like Wanda No Vision. Am I right? High five. Bitches be making Wanda puns.
Yeah, telling me about Sky's upbringing, that makes like so much sense because she has like zero self-awareness. Like she's like at the bottom of self-awareness. So it makes total sense, you know? And so he asked her where they stand today. And she's like, well, unless I see some drastic efforts, there's no chance we can ever go back to that. Dun, dun, dun.
So then we go to MJ and Tommy's house, and they're painting a room, Alcatraz black, for whatever reason. Maybe it's their podcast studio. And MJ's like, so want to know what I've been saying that's nice about you behind your back? He's like,
No, probably not.
well, our podcast has been one of the main places where we've had healthy communication, and I'm grateful for it.
Oh man, it sounded like a dragon just flew by, but it was actually just the sound of my tater tots in my stomach. Wah!
God, just get rid of him. What the hell? He's like, we got a podcast. It's called Tell the Dirt. And the podcast has been great. All right. And when we sit down, we turn that mic on. We're honest. We're vulnerable. It's been a key to our relationship. All right. And she's like, so are you going to tell me you got a text from Reza? And we see Reza calling MJ and saying, oh my God, Tommy responded to my text. He said, how did you get Tabbouleh to fall out of my phone?
And then he wrote, appreciate you reaching out. We're almost wrapped, so let's touch base once filming is done and we can go from there. So basically,
I love Tommy's like, yeah, when you want to do this, not for a TV show, I'll give you a chance.
Yeah. So MJ's like, that's great. He's like,
Yeah. Sorry about that. Whoa. That bird must have registered on the Richter scale. Wah!
So she talks about how it's like so hard doing such adulting. And she tells him, you know, like I used to be so passionate about us. He's like, what? You're not passionate about us now?
well, I want to be, but I have to feel safe to be passionate.
Well, look, I don't get when you talk about feeling safe. I'm not saying that I'm perfect. I'm far from it. I know I'm a good guy. I know I'm a good guy, but you know what? I'm a good dude.
She's like, yeah, no, you are a good guy.
You know, if I weren't a good guy, I'd be gone. Okay, I'd be gone, dude. Sorry about that.
She's like, yeah, you would be gone. And goes, yeah, I would be gone. She says, well, we would never do that with Shams in the picture, so we want to make sure we're good, right? Just us. He's like, yeah, but there's also a level. Like, I don't want to teach him the wrong things either. So I'm not going to stay in a situation where I'm not happy. Because unhappy people, they leave popsicle sticks on tables. All right? And if you make a choice, you don't have to die with the decision. You can fix it, you can change it, or you could just leave the bitch. You know what I'm saying?
The irony of Tommy talking about like the impermanence of decisions that you make while also like digging his heels in and absolutely never seeing Reza again. So MJ is like, okay, I love that you said that because that makes me feel like you're not staying despite us just for him. But then I also want to know that we are staying for each other. It's like,
yeah, well, we should probably go to therapy, man. I mean, I think it's important for you to have someone that could be your sounding board. Wah!
Because it ain't going to be me. And she's like, yeah, I think I'm really happy. Like, you know, I'm happy because I thought it was hopeless, but maybe I'm not. Maybe I have hope for us now because he said the word therapy. And he's like, wow, you did good. All right, you married me. You did great.
Yeah. Makes me sad.
That was a little one.
They're like,
that was a kiss. That was like a kiss.
Yeah, it was a little taco kiss.
Yeah. It's always sad because, you know, it's not going to work out with them. So then we go to Natasha and Amir's house for their big party, and everyone arrives. Adam and Reza show up with giant boxes of charcuterie. I was like afraid the box would open up. It would just be like tabbouleh piled on tabbouleh. And Reza's like, oh my God, you guys. Okay, everyone gather around, gather around. So MJ and I go and we meet Golnessa, who we're on great terms with. Let me tell you all about what's going on in her life. So Golnessa goes, I went and saw this house and it's for rent for $14,000 a month.
Didn't he just get in trouble in the first episode for talking shit about Gigi's finances to people? And now immediately he's like, oh my God, I can't wait to tell you Gigi's such a loser. $14,000 a month. And I'm like, okay, but she's got a plan. Get this. She's going to hit Dennis up for like $3,000 of that money. Like, bitches be crazy.
And they're like, whoa, this is a lot. And but Tanine's like, why are you depending on someone who you say betrayed you? Like, where do you draw the line? So Tanine's like, why the fuck would you do that? I love the fact that it seems like Tanine just hates Gigi. She has like no respect for Gigi. Because I feel like Tanine and Gigi are brought in from different worlds. Like there are different spokes of the central axis, whatever the connection is. And I feel like Tanine would never hang out with Gigi in any way, in any capacity, if it weren't for this TV show.
I don't think any of these people would except MJ and Reza. I think everybody looks at Gigi like, ugh.
Because they're all like a more evolved place of their life and their careers, right?
Even
like
Reza. Reza Jackson.
Yeah, honestly. So Reza's like, they have a very unique relationship, right? So Greg is there and so Gigi walks up. She's like, hi, everyone. And Greg's like, oh, we were just talking about you and the house that you checked out. She's like, hello is usually a word that you say to someone unless you want them to get angry and mad.
I mean, you can talk shit about me. You can definitely say hello to me, right? And he's like, calm down, bro. You came in hot again. She's like, I have nothing to fucking hide, but like, why am I always the fucking topic in this group? Like, move on. Talk about your failing marriages or something.
That was a good point that she made. Also, she did not come in hot. You literally, she walks up and you say, we were just talking about you. What's going on with your finances? Like, you came in hot, Greg. So then Vita shows up, which is great. She starts patrolling right away. And Reza...
Trolling and patrolling, both.
Why is charcuterie out in the sun? This is dangerous.
They ask if Sky's coming, and nobody knows. Has anybody talked to Sky? Oh my God. And Adam's like, I texted her. She didn't respond.
And
I can't imagine. Does anybody respond to Adam's texts?
Ow, your text hurt me. Gigi.
So Greg's like, yeah, well, every time she gets into anything with my wife has to reach out and it's over. And how important is this relationship? And Tanine's like, yeah, we'll be cordial, whatever. So then MJ shows up with Shams and Elijah comes up to Gigi. He's like, Mom, I need my police radar. I'm going to call the police because that other kid said stupid. And she goes, oh, yeah, well, maybe you need to say, we don't say words like that.
No, Mom, he said that you're stupid. And then all the kids started agreeing. What?
Why am I always the fucking topic around here?
So then Gigi sits down with Adam and she's like, I'm not going to get on your case because you're not giving me any best friend attention because you're trying to take care of your husband right now. He's like, ow, Gigi. He wants me to give him some more affection, like touching. Oh, yeah, you probably should do that. And I'm like thinking, maybe tantric yoga or maybe just not doing anything with him. Yeah, okay, you could do either one of those things, but I've heard that you can have an orgasm just from eye contact with tantric yoga.
It's very intimate. He's like, do you think tantric yoga is something Reza would be into? She's like, anything maybe if there's some rolls there or something, that he could snack on. I mean, he'd be into that. You can get some undies, some lubes. And he's like, but isn't being naked enough? Okay, so you want to go to naked hot yoga, sex yoga with Reza? Why do you need to film my visuals with this? Nobody needs that. Please don't put that upon the public.
No, even just the thought of it is really like, imagine the two of them sitting there naked, like cross-legged, just staring into each other's eyes and then just like both orgasming. I'm like, I don't need that. So then Bombshot arrives alone. Everyone's like, oh my God, Bombshot's alone. And Adam's like, oh my God, hey, By the way, do you think Rez and I should have kids? Does anyone think, should we bring this back? I'm like, please don't bring back this
No.
4-season saga that we had to endure. No kids.
We didn't believe you the first time around. We're not going to believe you at age 60 or whatever the hell we're pushing now. Stop it.
Reza Jax is confused. He's like, how does that even work? Is it like this? And he puts his 2 fingers together like the girl from Out of This World, like 2 penises touching. It's like, that's not how it goes. Okay.
So then Vita comes over and she's talking to the lifeguard. So she goes, they've hired a lifeguard for this party, this pool party. And she goes over and she's like, I don't know that you should be here. You should be over there. The kids should not be going that far. They should only be going this far. This is not very safe. He's like, the kids are fine. No. The kids should not be going over there. It's very unsafe for the kids. What, are you a lifeguard? And he goes, yeah, I'm a lifeguard. She goes, oh, okay.
She's like, the kids should not be in the deep end. He's like, I know, that's why I'm standing here. He's like, no, but you know they should be in the shallow end. I know. But you're professional? I am. He's like, fuck off, lady. Okay.
I just cracked up when he goes, yeah, I am a lifeguard. She goes, oh, okay. Just like she finally got stumped. They're like, Vita's coming. We better get a professional because you know she's going to ask somebody if they're a professional.
Yeah, I love that. She just goes over to inspect the lifeguard for his credentials. So then the rest of the gang is sitting together under this tent because, it's blazing hot there and they all only have this tiny little tent to crowd under. So they're asking where's Sky, and Bombshell said that she's in Vegas for a jewelry convention. And Reza's like, yeah, it's been a minute. It's been a minute since boys' night, huh? Remember all the snacks I put out? And Tanyan is saying, yeah, by the way, this is the most we've seen Bombshell in quite some time. Look at him. He's happy. Something
he's
different
so
about
relaxed.
him.
This is where the cast starts to slowly start to divorce you. Like they start to try and get you divorced. So she's like, wow, he's so relaxed now, right, everybody? Doesn't he look happier without Sky, right? And he's like, well, I'm conflicted. It's not easy to forgive and forget. Well, it's not easy to forgive. It's very easy to forget. What were we talking about?
Who are we talking about? You're right. It is easy to forget.
So Gigi and Reza are talking, and Gigi's like, I'm surprised Bombshad's here. I was happy to see him. So he came without his wife then? What's that about?
And then MJ's asking Bombshot how he feels, and he's like, I feel okay. But I think Palm Springs for me was a bit of a surprise because I feel like I was disrespected. And if you disrespect my wife, you disrespect my family. And they're all like, and if you disrespect my family, you're disrespecting me. Yes, Bombshot, we know your line. You worked hard on it, very hard on it. Good job.
So MJ is like, yeah, but I think she thinks she's right and she's holding on to being right more. And then she would rather that than mend fences. And, we love and care about her. So, you're the only one that's really talking to her that she shows up. So you need to do something. And he's like, yeah, but you've got to understand the whole situation also put me in a compromising position with my wife. By compromising, I mean I woke up with a pillow over my head, being pressed down very, very hard.
And she said, I probably would have killed you if I didn't have to walk to a whole other room and get myself tired in the process. So
she told
MJ's
me,
like,
you can't even die right.
MJ goes, well, I'm just saying she should show up to my event because I'm really putting a lot into this Twilight Open at Layla's house. And Reza Jack's like, yeah, she wants buyers. No, I don't. I just want that Sky doesn't exclude herself because I hate a divide. And I've been the person on the outside, and I've been the one that is feeling like that on the sidelines. And Bombshell's like, well, let me tell you all one thing. I don't think she has any negative feelings, anything bad towards any of you at all. If you feel that way, maybe you should reach out to her and ask her because I cannot answer that. Yes, Sky has no bad feelings whatsoever. She just can't wait to see everyone and hang out specifically in the Valley at a Valley restaurant.
Although I'm glad he did say this part because MJ is like, yeah, I just want Sky to know how much I care about her and I know what it's like and I totally feel for her. He's like, well, you haven't called her once. It's been... How long has it been since that? Nobody's calling her. What are you guys talking about? And it kind of shut MJ up. She's like, oh, right. Yeah, I guess I could. Mm-hmm. It's like, I don't think she'll have her guard down anytime soon. So going in forward, watch out. She's coming for you.
And Amir's like, well, we don't want to put him in the hot seat again. That's for sure. And Bombshell's like, no, and I will never do it again. There's definitely some walls and there's things, and hopefully we'll get through it, hopefully. But time will tell, because if you insult my wife, you insult my family, and if you insult my family, you insult me.
Wow, he's really a one Wanda word man. One word Wanda.
And then the screen closes up on Rez's face in a little circle. Then he winks, and it goes to black.
That brings us to the end of the Valley Persian Style and the end of our week. Next week, we are going to be at the South Beach Food and Wine Festival in Miami on the 21st, I believe. So come see us over there. It's going to be a fun little podcast we're going to do and eating around the festival. So we hope to see you there, and grab your tickets for the Golden Crappies live streaming over at watchwhatcrappens.com for February 27th. We'll see you guys later.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.